Now, if your 4 months salary cannot pay your full year rent, you're in the wrong house. What do I mean? Like, if you take your monthly salary, the month 1, the month 2, the month 3, and the month 4, let's say they pay you 20,000, 20, 20, 20, 20. That is 80K. If this amount is not able to pay your full year rent, you're in a wrong house. What do I mean? For instance, let's say you pay how much for a month? Let's say you pay like 10K, for instance. Okay, 10 multiplied by 12, that is 10K multiplied by 12, that is 120,000. Okay, what does it mean? Now, if you do your 4 months salary is not able to pay your full year rent, which is 120,000, you're in the wrong house. And guess who you are working for? You're simply working for your landlord or your landlady. You're supposed to understand. Those are very, very simple mathematics that you're supposed to understand. All right, let's take a case scenario. By the way, before I write anything on the board, this is Good Joseph speaking. And guess what I do? I post videos related to finances, investment, savings, and anything of the sort. And if you don't want to miss any of my good videos, go ahead and subscribe. Does not cost you anything. Just hit that small button written subscribe and make sure that you turn the notification bell and leave me a like and tell me where you're watching this video from. Okay, now let's continue. If you, this is, let's say for example, this is an individual here. Let's be logic. Okay, let's be logic. Let's say this is, let's call this guy Kevin. Now, this is Kevin. Kevin is earning approximately how much? Let's take a typical case scenario of somebody who's earning 40,000 a month. Bearing in mind there are people who even earn way less than that. So let's take a scenario of somebody who is earning as little as, let's say take a scenario of 40,000. Now this individual, let's say how much did they pay for their rent? Approximately somebody who is earning 40,000 a month, I would say they play around 7,500 all the way to something like 10,000, okay? 10,000. Now, the point is this. Let's say this guy pays a rent of approximately, say, 8,000 per month out of the 40,000 Kenyan shilling. Now, this rent, this salary of this individual, it is 40,000. We want to calculate how much this guy gonna earn in a period of 4 months. This is 40,000, okay, multiplied by 4, that is 160,000. Are we together? 160,000. That is what he gets in a period of 4 months. Okay. Now let's see how much he pays for an year as far as the rent is concerned. So it is 8,000 multiplied by 12. It gives that 96,000. So simply means the 160,000 subtract this one. This is, let's say this is like approximately 100,000. So there is a difference of say 65,000 or thereabout. 65,000 or thereabout, okay, or 64,000, so to speak. Now, what happens is that what you earn in a period of 4 months, and by the way, I want you to take a pen and paper because this is a bit of a complicated mathematics, and these are very simple things that you're supposed to consider in life. Now, the difference, the gap, or should I say the gap between that what you earn in a period of 4 months, okay, the gap between that what you earn in a period of 4 months compared to that what you pay for a year, compared to that what you pay for a year rent or an year's rent, the bigger that is what brings what we call the creation of something that we can put into an investment. Okay, let me put this in a very simplistic manner. The gap between that what you earn in a period of 4 months compared to that what you pay for your rent in a period of 4 or a whole year defines or matters a lot when it comes to you investing and creation of the financial freedom. So the smaller the gap, obviously, the tight the budget that you're having. And the bigger the gap, the bigger the percentage or the bigger the ability that you're going to have as far as the investments are concerned in the name of creation of what we call the financial freedom. So it is good to understand. Do not get, and by the way, let me tell you one thing. Another thing that I do consider myself first, even before I migrate from one location to the other, okay? Because I told you guys I've not built my home yet, okay? Now, the point is this. One thing that you're supposed to consider, that is factor number 1. And factor number 2 is that what you pay for your house rent, are you able to pay twice in a month? I repeat, that what you're paying for your house rent, are you able to pay twice? For instance, let's say you pay 8,000 Kenyan shilling per month. And by the way, when I say 8,000, this is quite over. Ooh, this is just a place. Anyway, it's not like a decent place here in Kenya. If you want to live in a decent place like a 1B or 1 bedroom, gonna cost you approximately 12,000 to 15,000. 12,000 to 15,000. Let's take an average of 13,000 per month, okay? This is what you're paying for your house rent. That is per month, okay? For an average 1 bedroom somewhere. Now, 13,000 for the sake of those who are watching from internationally, this is like 130,000 a month or something, dollars. Yes. So that is the amount. Now, the point is this, you always consider yourself, can I be able to pay this twice? What if the rent was 26,000? If it was 26,000, will I be able to live comfortably? Will I be comfortably, or will I be able to pay that rent comfortably? So if the answer is yes, then most likely you qualify for that thing. You know, most of the people tend to think that they can afford something, but they cannot afford something. You find somebody has only 2 million in his bank account. Just because they they came across a car that is being sold at 1.6 million, now they think that they qualify, or they can afford to buy it. No, just because you have the money that can buy that car, the question is, can you afford it? Can you afford its services? Can you afford all those things? We aren't talking about car, we are talking about rent here. See, if it is 26,000, can you comfortably pay that rent? Yes, you can. Okay, thank you. Again, can you be able to pay it? If the answer is no, I can't, then to what extent can you be able, are you able to meet the 13,000 that you're paying for your rent in terms of your savings? Yes, I can. So the bigger the gap, or the smaller the gap between that what you pay for your rent in a month compared to that what you save, aka investing, the bigger the gap, obviously, the longer the period, the longer the time to achieving what? The financial freedom. For instance, say you pay 13,000 per month for your rent, and then you're saving 13,000 for your rent, or rather for your savings, or you're investing it. Amazing. That's a thumbs up. I like it. But now, what if you're paying rent 13,000, but at the same time, what you're saving, maybe let's say it is, say 10, or maybe say 8, say 7, say 4, say whatever. So the far, or the bigger the gap between that what you're paying for your rent and that what you're doing as far as the investments are concerned, obviously, it complicated it will be, and the longer period of time it will take for you to achieve that what we call the financial freedom. Don't forget this. The genesis of this conversation is as simple as this. If your 4 months salary cannot pay your whole year rent, it means that you're in the wrong house. And what you're supposed to do, there is a certain rule that it says that you aren't supposed to pay your house rent above 30% of what you earn as a total income. That is the net income. After they do their deductions, the pay as you earn and what have you, whatever amount of money that is left, you shouldn't be able, or you shouldn't pay over 30% of that amount towards the home or the rent. If then you're paying for your home one day, you're looking forward into owning it, that's a whole different case. If maybe you're paying your mortgage, that's a whole case. But as much as then you're paying your mortgage and you're looking forward into owning that home one day, you shouldn't be in a situation whereby it's actually, what do you say, like it's really sort of pressing your cash flow, because you need money, you need to eat, you need to drink, you need to do other things, and you need to, say, pay school fees and what have you, if you have kids and what have you. So it is good to make sure that you understand these nitty-gritties. Why am I even bringing these issues of the rent? Because I have realized most of the people, they migrate to a certain places where they want to live, affluent neighborhood, the suburbs and what have you. They just want to live a good life, and there is nothing wrong with even paying a big amount of money. Okay, there's nothing wrong paying millions of money if you can afford, if you have the money, if you have the potential, if you have the ability. But the problem that comes in is when you find that truly speaking, you cannot afford it. You're straining, you even to an extent of even borrowing to pay for the consumables, because rent is a consumable. It's the money that you pay, you'll never see it. You've not invested. You don't even pay to own that particular place that you live. And I'm not telling people to go and live in caves and what have you. I'm just trying to sort of tell you this idea so that in any case, or whatever the situation that you come in, as far as the investments are concerned, or as far as the rents are concerned, you can be able to, to compare and contrast at the same time. You see, what? Yes, I would love to live in a good neighborhood where there is security, where there is amenities like the hospital, the water is available, and all other things that are there. But at the same time, ask yourself, to what extent is it digging into my paycheck? Because if it is digging to an extent whereby you cannot even invest, you cannot even embark on a journey of creation, what we call the financial freedom, because it takes time, it takes effort, it takes sacrifice, it takes discipline. If you cannot be able to do that, then it will be a little bit tougher and harder for you to do exactly that. Okay, now I would like you to let me know on the comment section, probably if you're in our position to, just let me know how much do you pay vis-a-vis to that, how much you want. Of course, don't tell us how much you earn, but how big is your gap? And I would love to compare this in terms of the percentage, okay? Let's say, for instance, let's say the gap, let's say you pay 80, for instance, let's take an example that I was giving here, where one is earning 160,000 in 4 months, okay, and they are paying 96,000, you know, in a whole year. Therefore, it means the difference between these two is around 64,000. 64,000. Now, the question is, what is 64,000 with response to 160,000? What percentage is this? For instance, 10% of 160,000 is 16,000. So 20% is 32,000. So that means 40% is around 64. Actually, it's 40%. Yeah. So 64,000 is 40% of 60,000. So the gap between that what you pay for your rent in a month, or rather in an year, compared to that what you earn in 4 months is 40%. Okay, for those people who hate mathematics, this one I know may be a bit confusing, but anyway, we are moving together. So the percentage between that what you pay for a rent in an year vis-a-vis that what you earn in a 4 months, if the gap, if they say, let's say the percentage gap between the two is maybe, let's say it's 100%. Some people you find it's even more than 100%. So the bigger it is, the more 100% and above, obviously it means that you're doing fantastically good and you're actually moving on the right direction. But if it becomes way below, say 35%, if it is below 35%, you're now entering to what we call the red zone. You're entering to what we call the red zone. And there are some people you find like the gap is even like something like 15K. If it is around 15K, then that one is very much questionable. Okay, so try as much as you can to make sure that this gap is bigger and wider as the time goes, because otherwise, if you don't consider this, it may be a little bit harder for you to actually elevate yourself towards the acquisition of what you call the financial freedom. Anyway, what did I say? Make sure that at least that gap is considered, and it's a gap that is actually making sense. And I'm not telling you that now tomorrow morning you migrate or where you live. Just be considerate in anything and everything that you do, and that way we're gonna achieve the financial freedom. And I'm sharing all this because I'm perfect in anything that I do. No, I share this because hey, it's a strategy that I use myself, and I can tell you it's working for me. And when I say it's working for me, probably you can try it. Maybe it will work for you. You know, I'm not trying to force it or draw down your throat, telling you, hey, you have to do this works. No, let's just be considered. Just like I told you last time here, nobody has the manual about life. Nobody has the actual way of becoming wealthy. Nobody has that. What we do is that we compare and see those people who have made it in life, those who are wealthy, and we borrow some things, and then we utilize them. We pick those that work for us, and we leave those that doesn't work for us. Anyway, that is it. Anyway, guys, don't forget, if you'd like to get my services in one way or the other, go ahead and grab that number from the description of this specific video. Shoot me a call. Let's talk business. For now, it's a goodbye, and see you in the next one.